And he said, yeah. He said, there's your sign. He said, what if you pass gas and you shart yourself, you need to quit eating whatever the hell you're eating.
Skip all of that if we just have real banana pudding.
Yeah, but banana pudding takes literally 10 times longer than fucking peanut brittle.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Just open up a fucking
No, not that.
can of fucking banana
Fake bullshit.
What? I don't think you can get that banana flavor unless it's fake. You know what I mean? Yeah, but there'll be real bananas in there. But that yellow banana pudding,
bullshit.
yeah, it's got the same fucking chemical components as like battery acid or something.
Yeah, no, I want real banana pudding with
Vanilla wafers.
with
Yeah.
milk and cream.
What he wants is real pudding with some banana flavor in it, and then real bananas inside of the dessert.
We have 50 cans of freeze-dried bananas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a bunch of that protein powder in the back. Fucking Fitness
8 years old.
Warehouse or somebody had it on clearance. You know, you got free shipping if you bought 10. They're huge, right? It is like drinking fucking banana pudding. Like it's full of sugar. It fucking tastes so good though. Like it has chunks of bananas. The strawberry one has chunks of strawberries in it.
They got one that's Oreo and
That's a
M&M.
good weight gainer stuff too.
That's what this got. Well, I think
Man, that stuff is good.
this shit. Oh goddamn! I'm glad that didn't fucking just break. This shit. It's like a spun. It's like a spun O2 tank, like spun fiberglass. It's gotta be like it.
Oh yeah, it's concentrate. Concentrate does taste good because it's like a creamier milk shake protein type thing. So that's one thing about protein that's
Now that I'm on my weight
fun.
gaining cycle.
That you can get bulked up is concentrates versus isolates, and of course there's tons of types of protein. Whey, casein.
Won't this make you fart though?
Concentrate's really low quality protein. Like it's not as usable as isolate. Doesn't have as good of a amino acid content.
Well, a scoop in there too is like the size of your fist.
Yeah. And, okay, so it's not very dense as far as that
Like the
goes.
scoop in there is fucking huge. Like
Yeah.
that was why I was amazed. Like with yours, like that was the first thing that I said. I go, the scoop is tiny. It's fucking small to get the numbers you have. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like. So the first time I bought, we were at Sports Authority, Sport Mart in San Diego, right across from Family Fitness Center, when it actually was called Family Fitness before it became Nautilus. I'm a kid, and when you walk right in the beginning, they have like gym equipment, like an academy. And they got all the weeder shit. And they got the weeder weight gain 2,500.
Yes.
2,500 calories, and it
Got
like
mixed with milk or something.
and it's in a container. Yeah, no, you had to mix it to get the ratings on the thing, and it was one or two servings per bag or box.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was like fucking it was like 2.5 gallons.
Do they have the big cup, like the big
Yeah.
triangle looking thing?
You had to
scoop with?
use a gallon of milk
Yeah.
to get the numbers they were claiming on the label. So I go home and make this shit up, just how they said, and the consistency of it was like brownie or cake batter. It was like you could write your name on the counter with that shit, and tomorrow it'd still be right where you wrote it. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you'd be so fucking ill trying to drink that.
Was that the 90s?
Huh?
Was that 90? 90?
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah,
92.
probably before that even.
Before that. Dude, that like if you look at a protein, I mean, not the taste is one thing versus what you get out of it, but look how long the ingredient list is. And then like ours is
Well,
like
it says I see flour in here like twice. Wheat flour.
Oh, yeah.
Scully got 4 pieces of bacon.
You know the
For
pancakes
sure,
at
right there,
IHOP.
like
You know the eggs at IHOP.
It's actually got the name Oreo cookie flour with the trademark around the name Oreo.
I like it.
Oreo.
That's why it tastes so good. No wonder it's got fucking Oreos in there.
I bet it does taste good.
Yep. I bet you has real fucking Oreos.
High fructose corn syrup.
I like
corn
that one
starch.
too.
You know
Yeah.
what I learned about?
Salt. So we lecithin.
How about sugar?
You know what I learned about whey protein?
It's the trash they throw away after they make everything else.
No, that most of it is most of it has residual cocaine.
What? Why?
Because they mix
Here
protein.
comes Amanda. She heard cocaine.
When they cut cocaine, they mix whey protein because it has the same consistency and look as cocaine. And then they clean and then they just dump it out, and then the next day they're making fluffy powder. Boom.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Joe Rogan was talking about because they're doing because of the way they're testing the fighters, that they're finding all kinds of shit in protein because they're testing them at such a, I can't remember what the micro level is, but they're testing them at such a micro level that they're finding stuff that is like residual from 8 years ago. But they've got fighters that are like, I have never done that. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. So they started going out. The lab started going out and testing all the whey proteins, and they're like, all the fucking proteins have residual cocaine in them. Not enough where you're like, hey, cocaine. But when they test it, they're like, and so they started looking into it, and at night, when the lights get turned off, some dudes come in the back and second shift, cut that cocaine up, pack it up and leave, wipe the thing out, but it's still, there's still residual.
Like shady businesses inside.
Yeah.
Inside of the lab.
Yeah.
Swab your U.S. money supply. Swab any fucking money in your pocket.
80% they say, right? Something like that.
You hear the rappers all rap about creatine because they're
Same thing. That same one though. They said 95% of all money has fucking E. coli on it.
90% what?
All the money has poop on it.
It's just fecal matter.
You might get
It's
pregnant
poop.
from it.
It's poop.
Well, just make those in your vagina.
So wherever they're getting that protein from is definitely not a CGMP certified protein manufacturer.
Well, they're saying that
Man,
guys
those
are coming
saying
to those labs after
Yeah,
that.
there's coming in those.
But they
labs.
tell
9 to
me
5 they are.
with those labs, they have to be tested, I believe, daily or between every batch. Like they're so strict. It's a lot more to use those labs, and I use a lab that's like I have to pay extra for a little thing on the lab or a certain ingredient because he told me they have to hire an independent team between batches to clean the entire I don't know if you want to call it an assembly
That's
line.
what Rogan said. He's like, you have to have he said that was the hardest part about. I can't think of the name of this.
He's in there with on it.
Yeah, on it. He said the hardest part about doing all the protein stuff was third party. Having an independent third party test it. And he goes, man, every time we would get something where we thought it was, they'd fucking test it, and there'd be all this other shit in there, and they'd be like, what the fuck?
You pay per ingredient if you know what you want to test for. Because we get our stuff tested, and mainly because I was afraid of the dosages we put in our products, they would try to cheat me. Like the Epigrow is 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Epicatogen.
epicatogen. Add a 90% extract, which is insane. It's like cost a fortune.
Super Beets.
So
That's
we
all you need
tested
is
it.
Super
It
Beets.
was in
I
there.
need Super Beets.
Super Beet.
Have you
The
seen
beet
the
extract
Super Beet ad
works,
yet?
but I haven't seen the ad. I haven't seen that.
Every fucking time I
Super
open a
Beets.
computer or my phone, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, fucking
Put
even
your
on
phone-
even
Super
on
Beets.
Super Beet.
even on YouTube,
He
a
said
fucking
it
Super
last
Beet
time.
thing came up.
It's going on your phone for sure.
I saw it this morning.
Super Beets.
He looked like he was gonna die tonight or today.
I think he's listening to the videos, like Jeff pointed out.
Like he didn't do any. He didn't
No,
do
I mean
any
like
kipping.
he physically looked ill.
Yeah. And
Well, I think he has that. But like when he did the pull-ups, he did straight pull-ups. There was no kipping. And when I saw him on a couple other machines where he was like just doing, like you're supposed to. There was
Normal
no fucking
range of
extra bullshit.
Yeah, well, and he was in
Hip
doing
thrust.
sit-ups in the aerobics room there, and he wasn't, acting crazy and jostling around.
I thought he was gone. I'm like, okay, we're clear. Go to the front of the gym. I get down. I'm going to do low rows. I'm going to do cable rows. And I'm got the pin. I got the pin out, and I see rapid movement like a velociraptor ran past me. What the fuck was that? Put the
It was
pin
actually
in, and he like pops out. Jeff said as soon as he saw me, he was heading another direction. He
was
sensed
heading?
movement, and fucking 180 and fucking like, and he does
So we were at
everything exaggeratedly fast.
We were at the back of the gym. All three of us were at the back of the gym by the squat rack, doing what the hell we were doing, whatever these things are.
The underhanded.
Yeah,
rows.
doing underhand
Oh
rows.
yeah, try about squat rack.
So John finished his last set, and he started walking to go do the other ones.
Did.
Yeah, John did.
Yeah.
Me and Sebastian were still in the back. He comes out. We're still in the back, right? So he's beelining. He's like, I'm coming back there. And then out of the corner of his eye, he sees John go like that. Get to the position where he's going to do something over here.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, he went like through 4 machines, like he's doing this and
Mike's
shit,
got him lined up like
just to fucking walk by John, and then go in the bathroom.
There's another dude that's in there now. He's a singer, like
Oh, you told me
loud
about that.
fucking singer. And I'm like, I told Jeff, I go, a few decades ago we would have just locked that dude up. Like, but now, I mean, the feeble-minded are able to come out in society, and we no longer have hospitals and asylums, so the feeble-minded are able to walk amongst us, whereas we used to kind of weed that out.
Now it's rewarded half the time.
He's
Oh,
not.
no
He's just
fucking idea.
like,
No, I really don't. But
I don't know if they just don't know, but he is working out he is for real working out for sure. But he's loud. He's fucking obnoxious. Like, we come over there, we're not even really near him, and he comes over and he's like, "Are you guys brothers?" And like, I walk around in the gym like I'm a fucking asshole. Like, all but having a shirt that says "Don't fucking talk to me." Like, I don't interact with fucking anybody in the gym other than the 2 other people in the gym with me ever. I'm like, hey, yeah, we'll just put all your fucking weights away. Like, we came in today and there's fucking 5 plates on the lat row.
5 plates.
And there's one motherfucker, and I walk right over. I go, "Are you doing it?" He's like, "Not me, bro." It was like that. That dude's pretty cool. So we break it down. One of them fucking retards left all that fucking weight in there.
And they might have done half.
Dude, there is weights
Just
fucking all over the place in there. So he's like, "You brothers?" I'm like, "Nope."
No.
You guys look the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Still no eye contact. That's not your older brother? Nope. Fucking pretty sure I said that's not my brother. He's like, "So SOE, that's that sign up the road." So here we go. Like, he now, I know who you are.
Yeah.
He goes, "What do you guys do there?" I go, "We sew stuff." "What?" "It's a sewing shop, sewing machines." And like, he wants to talk, but it's like that stray dog thing. If you feed him, if you were at all polite, and I need to go back after the fact when they're alone and go, "Look, man, I don't mean to be an asshole, but I am here to get 2 hours worth of shit done, and I have fucking 45 minutes to do it. And it's not about not talking to you. It's that when I talk to you, the other 4 assholes that you're fucking standing there talking to think they can do the same thing." And that's what it's about. I don't mean to be an asshole, but I am a fucking asshole. Like, if you want to talk to me, make a fucking appointment and walk through that door, and we'll talk. You know when I can talk to you? I can talk to you. You be at the gym at about 6:50 when I'm getting out of the car, and I will speak to you from the car to the gym. But when we cross that threshold of the gym, or if you want to come in here, you be here at fucking 12 o'clock, and from 12 to 12:15, you can stand here and interact in our conversation. That's the only fucking times I have to have a fucking conversation with somebody that's not paying me money. Like, that's it. You want to talk to me? I know you know all about us. Get on the fucking live feed. I talk to motherfuckers every night for hours while I'm fucking working. While they're doing not working.
Oh yeah, you do have conversations with people.
Fucking that camera
But it's
rolled
like,
for
when
probably
it's
3
convenient.
hours last night.
When we worked out, so when I didn't own the gym, I was a contract. Like, I paid to train people. It got to where at first I hadn't won any competitions. I was just a kid getting his bachelor's in exercise, and I just got done playing college football with an injury. So I didn't really meet that many people. Well, then within 6 months, I would always talk. I would always be nice. Well, then people started talking to me a lot. I'm like, okay, this took 2 hours today. That's never happened. And I had a really tight schedule with working, 2 jobs full time. So, and college full time. I couldn't figure out what to do because I didn't want to be rude because I ended up training a lot of those people. So I wasn't trying to be like, hey, this is only my only hour a day. I bought a watch at Walmart. And it was a Timex, I think. It was in line at the checkout. Like it was that kind of cheap watch, but I didn't care.
You need a fucking...
It had a stopwatch on it.
Yeah, you need an hourglass.
Yeah, and so you could set it for 2 minutes or whatever you wanted. And you hit it, and at 2 minutes or 1 minute, it would go beep, beep, and it was annoying. Like if you hit it, it'd go off, but if you didn't touch it, it would go off. So in the gym, I had a relayed timer. As soon as I finished my set, I hit it, and in so many seconds, it would go off, and I wouldn't turn it off till I touched the bar. That fixed it because there wasn't an iPod. Like I had a Discman.
They'll still do that. Like we watch dudes walk up to chicks, and like, hey,
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, that chick's deaf, and he just kept fucking talking to her till she pulled her fucking headphones out.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Somebody got on that video.
Well,
Some chick got on that video and goes, "Well, I hate creepy old dudes eavesdropping." I'm like, "Oh, that was you, wasn't it, bitch? Well, if you weren't fucking talking so loud across the gym, we wouldn't have heard what you were saying."
Well, more importantly, while he has been back at that time frame,
She has not.
she has not.
Yeah, we haven't seen her again.
Scared her off.
Top Knot was in there.
Maybe. Whatever. I don't care. More people we scare off, less people are.
I used to walk, like I'd go in the gym with a hoodie, but I can't see. Like it bothers me having a hoodie on because I can't see.
Yeah, I don't
anything.
like that.
But when I would go in the gym, I would always have a hoodie on and I would always have earbuds. And I would see people talking to me, but I would just pretend I didn't hear them. They'd eventually stop talking to you. My thing was I would hire kids that were in the gym. If I saw a dude in the gym consistently on a regular basis following a schedule, I figured he could probably show up to work. We hired 4 or 5 dudes out of the gym. And when I finally offered that, I'm like, what do you do? You're here. Obviously, you can keep the schedule. Do you want a job? And he's like, yeah, man, I tried to talk to you for a year. Like, I talked to you probably once a week. And you just didn't hear me. I go, no, I fucking heard you. I just didn't want to talk to
It's
you.
like I had 45 minutes to do 20 things. And I got to go.
Yeah. Imagine if when you cross the threshold of the gym, if every word you speak cost you $1. Just think, every word you spoke in that gym, if those people had to pay to stand there and talk about fucking nothing, I don't want to be in your gay boys club. I don't want to fucking go to your Elks Lodge. And that's what that shit is. Like, you have the same gaggle of 6 retards. And you'll watch, there's a tall, skinny dude in there. He is fully capable of working out. But he is the catalyst to most of the bullshit standing around. And he will stand there. He'll go from one motherfucker to another dude and have the same fucking conversation.
That's annoying to hear, too.
And they do it. It's right. We will change our schedule. We'll do exercises, and I know you have them in sequence for a reason. We will change them because there'll be a fucking retard standing literally right there. I'll be in the middle of a set, and I'll come over, and I'll just fucking slam it down. I'm like, here, why don't you fucking have it? Go ahead.
Go ahead, I want to listen.
We weren't over here.
I'm like, fucks me up.
I'm like, you realize we walked to the other side of the fucking gym because you were over here.
He fucks me up all the time with that because we'll go in there to do something, and he'll just go to the completely. I'm like, wait a minute, that's number 3. Why are we doing that right now? What's going on? And that's number 4. What are we doing? Is this on the schedule? This is wrong. All the time, because it'll just be 10. It'll be not 10. It's like 4 dudes, and they'll all just be like,
it's coming, man.
On the equipment.
Just slow you down 5 to 10 minutes.
They're on the equipment. They're just in the way.
Like, why don't you go the fuck out in the parking lot? Go to fucking church and do this bullshit.
Why
Go to
don't you
Walmart on
get each other's
Sunday.
phone numbers and fucking talk on the phone?
You guys should mate. I don't mean date either. Just go out in the parking lot and fuck each other because you're not doing nothing in this fucking gym.
Do they work out? Are they actually working out, or are they just there?
Dude, if they are there before they're there, they roll in right about the same time. Sometimes they're pulling up as we are, sometimes they're there a couple minutes. I go in the back and foam roll. We're in the building. We're in the house for an hour to an hour and 10 minutes probably. They work out probably 10 to 15 minutes of the time.
And they're there the whole time with it.
And the dude they run, it makes no fucking sense either. All this gaggle of fucking retards will sit, and it's mostly machines where you have to sit. If there's a seat and you can sit down there on it, and they take whatever weight they should have and try to double it. Like they literally try to double the weight. You hear it. I don't know how those fucking plates and that power tower are not snapped.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you feel that shit when they drop that shit. You feel it
they're
no
dropping it
matter
on the
where
safety.
in the gym
Yeah.
you are.
Because they can't do it. Or
No,
they're just doing it to be loud.
Well,
Yeah.
like seated row, right? Seated row. They are literally leaning. They're using their legs. Like they are literally pushing off with their legs to take tension, and then they fucking leaning back. Like, dude,
And then
I'm
they
waiting
just
for a
let it
pop. I am
Oh, I
waiting
hate
for a
that.
pop. It is fucking. I don't know how there has not been like a serious
that.
fucking injury.
Like, I hate that. I hate when
And then
somebody
there's
slams away.
we saw a dude who we've seen 3 or 4 times while we're there. He went in and loaded that sled up. Like he didn't load both pegs, but he had probably 6 plates on the top pins, the top arms on the fucking hat, the seated
That's-
squat.
Yeah,
the seated
that's a
press.
lot on that one. That's a lot.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it
It
is.
won't hold much more than
And
that.
then I'm like, oh, this dude's gonna break himself in half. And you hear the safeties come off. I'm like, all right, here it goes. And he moves it. He literally moves it like 2 inches.
Yeah.
Like it's more fucking calf movement than.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Like there's okay, so the weight you're talking about the stuff that's pin like on the poles, the pin select stuff.
Yeah.
It's on the guide rods. Like in the old stuff, I don't think there was springs at all. And then as equipment evolved, they started putting pretty heavy duty, I believe they're called coil springs, on the bottom of each thing with a little rubber washer and a rubber washer on top. So when somebody does drop it, it gives it a little cushion because people were cracking them.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you drop a plate, you'll notice it kind of goes shh, shh, shh. That's what that is. But if the weights are down, you can't really see the springs. And when people do that, it does mess the equipment up. Like it does warp the bars eventually. It does
Dude,
make
whenever
the little
Mike's-
spindles come out at the top.
Anytime we've seen Mike in there, Mike's got those covers off, fucking on the
Yeah.
around.
Okay, so I have to do that at my gym.
Yeah.
Like I do it.
because of fucking assholes.
And it's like, I have really good members. Like, I don't have a lot because we do it our way on purpose. And I have really expensive equipment. And I'm like, when I'm out there, they don't really do it. So it must be happening when I'm not out there. But I've seen a couple people be, like, struggling and trapped in it. You know, that's going to happen. I got it. I've also seen people very rarely seated cable row, pull that, like, pick it up, stand, and then you kind of have to fall to the seat. It's one thing if you're strong enough to do it. That's how you get it down. But they'll do maybe 5 or 10, and then like literally
And they just
on the
fucking let
last
it go.
one.
Yeah.
Same dudes will get on that. Same dudes will get on that fly on that pec deck.
Mhm.
They'll come in and it, like
Yeah.
fuck their motion, and their motion is this. Like it's
Like
not.
doing nothing.
Yeah, it's
But then they'll let it go. Like hold this one, go what pow,
Yeah.
what pow.
I'd love to see one of them just fucking do
Dude, I
it.
hate- it totally screws the equipment up. You warp those guide rods, it does not feel the same. Mike bust his ass to keep that place functional. Luckily, there's not a lot of people in there. Oh, so you're favoring it all the time?
for
Yeah, I
sure.
have to.
You have to?
I have to. This leg is always
To
fucked
do
up.
the
like
two
me
legs
standing
stuff.
here right now. This leg hurts.
Right then.
This leg hurts right now.
Yeah,
all the time.
osteoporosis. We fell down the stairs and broke his hip.
Yeah, all the time. Well, they're flat. They're just flat.
Before I used to go, here's 120 pounds in this backpack. Go run around, and you don't need
Yeah.
any fucking shirt or fucking sunblock, like fucking skin cancer, fucking jumping with fucking parachutes that.
Yeah, putting
Couldn't
a waist
control
strap,
the-
putting a waist strap on. That's so cute.
I mean, the science of training was
Uh-huh.
being developed in the 80s and 90s. But even now, still, you have some people that are so hesitant to accept research. I mean, weight training is biomechanics, physics, and math. That's what it is. Of course, anatomy, physiology, because it's the human body. But if you don't master those things, as a trainer, as a coach, as a drill sergeant instructor,
Yeah.
and you're literally telling people what to do with their body, and their life depends on their body, I mean, you're kind of screwing them up.
Well, that's why we use 18-year-olds because they're less
Yeah,
breakable.
okay, so there's real science to that.
Mine's
At certain
mirrors,
ages,
fitted
you can bounce
clothing, mirrors, fitted clothing, and chemicals.
Say what again?
What'd you say?
Mirrors,
mirrors,
fitted clothing,
fitted clothing,
chemicals.
and
If you got that ratio right,
I've never heard
you
that.
don't have to work
Oh,
out as much.
yeah.
Like, let me write that down. Got it.
They're
But,
asking you for a fucking cake pill for like 4 years.
Cake pill?
A pill so he can eat as much cake as he wants.
Like they have stuff like that, but it's
They do have that. What's that shit that they put in the potato chips?
It's called insulin. Oh, Alestra.
Elustra. You just get a cake. You get
May
a cake.
cause severe anal seepage.
Yeah, because
It said that right on the
that'll
back.
come right out of you.
That's
So
the fat blocker stuff.
that Elustra, that shit'll come right out of you. You can have all the cake you want.
Literally come right out of you.
It'd be
Sevens
like eating
all
orange
day.
Roughy. Roughy. Have you ever ate a lot of orange Roughy?
No.
You know what orange Roughy is?
Yeah, fish.
Everybody know this? Seafood. So orange Roughy has a fat in it your body can't use. And in the 80s, that was like one of the best foods to eat for bodybuilders and fitness people getting ready for competitions or
Because it
photo
makes
shoots.
poop.
Well, because you can't use the fat. They didn't know why. They just knew it made them lean.
I only eat
But they were
blowfish,
pooping it out.
lionfish, and sculpin.
It's orange. Like it comes out like orange oil. So in the 90s, of course my dad did it. And in the 90s, he's like, hey, there's got to be something to this. And he figured it out and ended up telling me later on. But when I was doing my first stuff, like I didn't know, but I knew orange Roughy was what they used. And my dad was like, eat orange Roughy. And he's like, don't eat orange twice a day. Didn't know why. Well, he always liked me to vary my protein, which I always did. You know, a couple chicken meals, a couple steak meals, a couple fish meals. Well, there went to be a time where I got in my head, I had a competition coming up. And I was like, I'm not going to lose because I'm not shredded enough. Because that's the dedication, the hard work, the part that takes you to get your mind right. So I said, okay, the next 2 weeks, I'm doing orange Roughy is going to be my only meat source. Orange Roughy, egg whites, and whey isolate.
How'd that go for you?
Bro, day 1 was great. Day 2, I went to use the bathroom. And I was like I jumped off the toilet. Here's the weird part. The day before that, I went to my first ever acupuncture. Ever. So, get this. First day I do orange Roughy the whole day. I go acupuncture for the first time because I was prepping the show, sore, you know, for my shoulders. When I got off the toilet, there was orange oil. And when I wiped, the toilet paper was orange. Like starburst orange. And I'm like, but, you know, your feces is in the toilet like normal.
When Tyler ate
It just-
goldfish, that would happen.
No, this was like freaky. So, I just lived the rest
So
of the
was
day.
Tyler.
Next day, I was like, man, my stomach got a little gas. And I kind of like eased a little bit out. You know, a little silent but
Guess
violent.
what? It wasn't.
And I was
gas.
like,
Silent
whoa, and you
violent.
pinch your butt cheeks really close. And I'm like, did I just drop some liquid? I'm like, was that a shark? And I ran to the bathroom as fast as I could. Because I was at the gym, dude. I was training somebody. And I ran to the bathroom and I got on the spot. I was like, oh. I was like, it was just a little fuzz of like, it looked like a drop of like olive oil, but it was orange. I was like, dang it. But luckily, I have my gym bag, and I always have spare clothes in my gym bag. And I was training a lady. We was almost done. I said, give me 1 second. We'll make it up. I need to get something out of my bag. I ran, grabbed my bag, grabbed my fresh clothes, go back in the bathroom, literally clean myself. And this is terrible, by the way. Like, I'm 23 years old. Like, this is screwing me up. I'm like, did I just not control my bowels? What have I done? So anyway, I finished training. I get home, go to the bathroom, and it's like poured on. I'm like, oh my God, there is a bottle of oil in my toilet.
It's like MCT oil.
Yeah, it looked like that, but bright orange, like starburst orange. I go to the acupuncturist the next day. He's like, how you feel? You feel good, strong? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I feel good. It's like the shoulders feel better. I said, but man, I'm pooping orange oil. And he's like, orange oil? I was like, yeah, oil, like liquid fat. He's like, oh, good, you detox. We detox your liver. And I was like, oh, okay, got it, good. It's like, I don't want no toxins in my liver. Get that
I
crap
don't
out.
have to worry about
It's
that.
like, I've never heard of that.
Awesome.
And he's like, get B12 shot. I'm like, okay. So he hooks me up. He's like, come back 2 days. Let me know. And I think he's like, I'm going to tell him to come back because I don't really know what's going on. Well, I didn't change my meal plan because I still wasn't there. I hadn't told my dad I'd done it yet. Same thing, 2 days. Like, I literally, out of being scared, I took the Charmin strong toilet paper, rolled it up like a hot dog, and like put it in my underwear, like right where my butt was. And I was like, okay.
Tampon, like a little pad.
It was like
Man.
lit like you make your underwear into a diaper. And underwear had just come out from Under Armour that was tight. So it's like, oh, this is 07. Okay, this is summer of 07. I just graduated my bachelor's.
Did you have an Under Armour sponsor?
No, man, no. It wasn't.
That was a
You
good
should probably have them build a little fucking catcher in there.
I
a little
should
pipe
have.
for it.
But I didn't let pass gas. And that was not fun because if you hold gas all day, it's not fun. But I was still using the toilet and it was tons of orange. And luckily,
You were like,
Are you
my
aware
liver's
of
I
good.
was like,
My
man,
liver's
what?
so-
Yeah, I was.
I
Now,
didn't know
for 2
how
days, I
to
did
stuff
feel
my
like
liver.
that. I was placeboing myself.
Do you have
I'm
a copy of the Bristol?
It's like I can
the
eat
Bristol
whatever I
chart?
want. Bristol?
Yeah, you don't
The
carry a
poop
copy
scale.
in your wallet?
I know, but
Chef can give you one. He's got.
I don't call it the
I'm gonna
Bristol
put them in
chart.
the bathroom. So
But I know the
Chef
charts.
can laminate them for you.
I know what the colors mean.
I only eat. I don't eat orange Roughy. Only California Garibaldi's.
Well,
So when-
I go back for okay. So this is Friday now. 5 days, 4 days of literally. But I don't think y'all get how much I'm saying is coming out.
No, I think we
Like
get
I'm
it.
saying, 8 to 12 ounces per toilet trip, and there's 2 or 3 a
You
day.
should have weighed it to make sure.
Well, I did think about getting it tested on day 2 before I went back. I was
That
like,
would've been awesome.
well, I'm in grad school. I was like, I probably could talk to my professors about getting it because we had the infirmary. It's like I can collect it and send it off. I was like, I didn't know what it was, but after he said my liver, I'm feeling like a champ. I'm like, man, I can take any supplement I want. I will detox my liver. I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
even
healthy.
need no. I don't even
I don't
need no
need-
PCT.
I don't need milk thistle. I don't need anything. And I was
Milk thistle. What's the?
again. That's for your liver.
What are those blue pills I used to take? It's a blue bottle,
Uh,
and the main ingredient was milk thistle
fuck, I can't
and
remember.
celery seed or something.
That's for like
Morning
your
goat
organs. Yeah. Well, I go back Friday to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, good. You now you detox. You must detox something else." Because he's like, okay, your liver don't detox for this many days. And then he's looking in my eyes, and he's doing all this crap. Then he's like, He's like, we need to bleed you a little bit. I'm like, bleed me a little bit.
That's old
He
school.
grabs my fingers, and he's like,
Leeches.
he cuts my, I believe it was my finger or fingernail or something. He's like, getting me to bleed, and I bled. And I was like, okay. And then he takes these acupuncture beads and tapes them all up in my ears, which I knew what he was trying to do. He
He's
just
got
never
to
did
use.
it.
The problem is, he didn't use the rectal ones.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
You need the rectal dilators.
And he gave me like 3 or 4 B12 shots that day.
You're
And like, I'm
on
like,
B12
oh
now.
my god, because now I'm worried. Now I'm like, okay, he's throwing everything at me because he thinks something's wrong.
Well, something was wrong.
And that, yeah, something was wrong. And so that night, I was like, okay, whatever. I got up the next morning and I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh, it was making me mad. Because of course I'm increasing my
Are you
amount of
still-
orange Roughy as it
Yeah, I
goes.
was gonna say, are you still
I
eating
was-
fish?
I was at
Roughy
look,
are you in?
I was doing the first day I did 4 meals at 8 ounces.
Where were you getting it?
I was getting it at Sam's,
Like a
like
grocery
frozen,
store?
and
Okay.
just cooking it myself. I cook all my own food. And by the Wednesday, I bumped it to 10 ounces, and I was doing 4 or 5 meals a day of that. Some days I would go to 12 if I was more
Yeah, but
hungry.
how'd you look? Were you ripping it
Dude,
out?
I was
What's up?
getting lean. Like it literally, my body changed more in those 7 days than it's probably ever changed in 7 days.
Better go back to the dolphin.
I called my dad Saturday. I woke up and that happened. I'm like, God, I was getting angry because it takes forever to clean yourself, which is, on camera that's weird, but like if
Doing
I'm
a
going to
shower.
go to the bathroom,
That's how a midget
I'm going to
does it.
shower every time. So I'm like, God, I'm using 30 minutes a day just to go to the bathroom because he got to take a shower every time. So I call my dad and I'm like, Dad, something's wrong. He's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm having issues going to the bathroom. He's like,
We still love you, Justin.
what? And he's like, are you bleeding? And I'm like, I don't
Well.
know. I was like, I don't know. Could my blood be orange? And he's like, orange? And I'm like, you think it's like diluted with water? And he's like, wait. He said, are you pooping orange oil? And I was like, yes. How did you know? Like, I'm so happy. I'm like, yes, he figured it out.
You know,
He's like, you're not doing orange Roughy twice a day like I told you. And I was like, it's like as a kid, you do.
That's the Sebastian head. There it was.
Yeah, it was like, I got
Holy shit.
deflated. And I was like, well, I might ate it 3 times. He's like, no, you ate all your meat as orange Roughy. And I was like, yeah. He said, son, he said, you realize you're my son? And I would have thought the same thing. He said, I actually did the same thing, but it was like 88. He said, this is 2007. I got 20 years on you. I'm like, okay. He said, you're pooping out the fat from the fish. And I was like, oh. He's like, are you having, what do you call it? Like, sharks? I don't know. He used a real word. I was so flabbergasted, I don't know what was going on. And I was like, yeah, once. I said, I've been holding my poops ever since. And he said, yeah. He said, there's your sign. He said, what if you pass gas and you shart yourself, you need to quit eating whatever the hell you're eating. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to get shredded. And he's like, yeah. He said, well, how do you look? Of course, you couldn't take a picture and send it. Like, I was taking pictures and mailing them.
How do you look?
I was like, well,
all right, keep doing it.
I was like, my waist has come in tight, whatever. He's like, good. He said, well, you're 4 to 6 weeks out. I don't think that's a necessity. I think you're going to be fine.
But you can't do this for 4 more weeks.
And I was like, yeah, because I was like, well, you think I could do this? If I had to do it, I will, is what I said. If I have to do it, I will. He's like, I don't think so. He said, drop back to once a day and then go twice a day if you feel like you can handle it on your stomach. That's what I did. And I'll be laying. I won the Mr. Alabama that year in 07.
All because you sharded yourself.
That was traumatizing. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, a 23-year-old adult, just graduated, valedictorian, think I know everything.
Let's give Sebastian
Something as simple as a
Roughy
little bit
some
of meat like that through my stomach.
Can you get orange Roughy?
I'm sure I can find it.
Dude, it's phenomenal. I still love it. It's my favorite meat.
Feed it to the other. Feed it. Make some for lunch. Not
They
for
won't
us.
eat enough
Not
of
for
it.
us. Make it for
No,
make it
one
for the
meal
rest
won't
of
do it.
Yeah, so
That you have to consume. Like, I was eating it twice a day fine. I was eating 8 ounces twice a day, and that's weighed after it's cooked. So that was like 1.5 pounds before it's cooked.
Orange Roughy omelet.
Orange Roughy omelets.
Dude, it's
Orange
good.
Roughy.
Orange Roughy's good.
Orange Roughy for pork belly.
Yeah.
Orange Roughy keto fish sticks.
There you go.
Hey, I'm all about some keto fish sticks.
Hey, Orange Roughy kind of tastes like the yellowfin tuna from the sushi.
Ooh,
Like how clean
No, it
and
doesn't.
white. And you've had
No.
Orange Roughy?
Yeah, cooked. I've never heard of. You don't go to a sushi bar and they got some orange Roughy.
No. It's cooked.
Yeah,
But how
my mom
that
used to
kind of
love Orange
sushi
Roughy.
is, I love it. I like that sushi that's clean like that. What's the name of the place? I always ask because I forget.
Fukushima.
That we went, that you took me. And I'd never had that
Fukushima.
appetizer before.
Virago.
Wow.
Yeah, Virago.
They laid it out. I mean, they come out with a big
you're talking
strip.
about the jalapeno.
It was yellowfin.
Cafeteria at the power plant. It's got
That was the first
best
time I ever had
best
yellowfin
fish
sashimi.
you'll ever have.
And it was everywhere
It's
I
called
go.
jalapeno yellowtail. Anytime you're at a high-end restaurant.
Wow.
Look up Fukushima. Like, if you guys don't know what's going on, that camera's wrong. He had no idea that whole fucking time.
I was looking, I was like, she's standing behind the camera. Like, I couldn't tell if it was
Oh.
on. I was,
Look up
That's
Fukushima. Like, it's pretty bad.
It's
Like,
not
all your tide pools. California, San Diego was famous for tide pools, especially like La Jolla tide pools. And then where was the kelp beds where we used to go diving? Down south a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, the kelp, like the tide pools, they're dead. Like, there's nothing in them. There's no octopus. There's no fucking mussels. There's nothing. They're saying that the radiation levels are like 100 times greater than normal, and it's affecting. They said that the salmon migration, less than 10% of the salmon returned this year to reproduce. Like, the salmon are dead. They're doing big cores at a yellowfin tuna. They're finding yellowfin tuna. They said it's 6,000 miles away there because the yellowfin tuna migrate, and they have the radiation level is so high it is as though they are at right off the coast of Fukushima. So they're taking 125 million gallons a day, I think, that they're moving through those pools, and it's to the point where they were making an effort to capture the water, but they've captured all the water and they've put it in these bolt together containers, so they're not welded and they're actually failing. But they have so many of them on site, they have no more room to house any more of the water. So for the last 6 months, they've literally just been pumping the water out in the ocean, like all the water changeover for the cooling pools. And then they say that all these people you see in the suits, you can only get 15 minutes of exposure at, like, if you went up to the tanks, your radiation level would be so high through the tanks that you're going to die within a few weeks. And they said that those people, if you look at the people that they're showing you on the news, they are in just fucking Tyvek paper, like Tyvek suits. They're not in radioactive exposure suits. They're just in Tyvek, and they say that they are using homeless and indigent people from jails and people they're taking off the streets to go in and do whatever they're doing with those tanks, and that those people are actually fucking expiring at a super high rate. They're just using homeless people.
At the same distance, so that you can actually do, I can't remember what they call it, but it's a type of tourism, like dangerous tourism or something. But
yes,
it's all these people who go. It's all these people who go around the world and go to places where you don't want to be. And there was a group of tourists that went to Chernobyl, so where the Russian meltdown was,
which is no big deal now.
They went there, and then they decided there's a tour group that will take you to Fukushima now. Dark tourism. But there's a tour group that will take you to Fukushima now, and all the people that went to Russia, like, they weren't even close to Fukushima. So everybody's got their fucking radiation meters and shit, and they weren't even like close. Like they couldn't even see it, and their meters were off the chart. And they're like, "Hey, we're 5 times higher than, we're 5 times higher than we were when we were like standing next to Chernobyl." And the Japanese tour guide's like, "It's okay. We drive down here all the time." What? And then so they were going to get closer so they could actually see the plant, and everybody's meters were just going fucking higher and higher. And finally, everybody on the bus was like, "We don't want to go any further. We don't care. We're not going to finish the tour. Turn this motherfucker around and get us out of here."
And then at the same time, while they're doing those tours, they're serving all kinds of. They have all kinds of food and shit. They're like, "Where did this come from?"
The areas that are wiped out, so the villages that have been abandoned, people aren't moving back to. So they're not going back to the houses. So the government is hiring old ladies to go into these areas, and they open kitchens and start cooking food.
Come on, man.
Serious, for real, to get people to come back.
Yeah.
And the Japanese guy, the tour bus guy, he's like, they're all in this, like a small cafeteria, and everybody's kind of eating because they're hungry.
Like, where did this come from?
And one person's like, "Where did this food come from?" And the Japanese guy's like, "Around here somewhere." And it's all in the quarantine zone. He's like, "Around here somewhere." And the dude is like, I don't want to eat this. But he's looking around the room, and everybody in the room is just fucking eating away, chowing down.
How long ago was the
Fukushima? It's been a minute. It's been 3 or 4 years, maybe.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Just type Fukushima into YouTube and just watch some of the coverage.
Worst nuclear power plant disaster.
And it's not even like the magnitude of it has not even hit home yet.
Yeah.
And the people that are saying it, it's not just some fucking conspiracy theory, dude. Like, you have top level fucking, nuclear scientists saying the same shit. And now all the numbers are starting to come in. And then they said that the migratory ocean birds, like, there's major die-offs, like fucking millions of birds. Like, a whole fucking beach will just be covered in fucking dead birds. And then they're having pods, like whole entire pods of whales are fucking just beaching and dying. Like, marine life is just fucking decimated, and nobody's talking about it.
How far out is it going?
The problem is
whales are not right by the beach.
6,000 miles. So it happened at Fukushima.
the
They're
radiation.
catching yellowfin tuna off of Mexico, 6,000 miles. They're coring them, and they're like, the radiation level is so high in this, you cannot eat this fish.
The radiation. So you can actually, right now, you can go on the internet, and they actually have the radiation, not the
It shows a
plume,
chart, like a flow
but
chart.
they have the flow chart of the radioactive water.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, the currents. Unfortunately for us, well, not us anymore, but the currents that flow from Japan flow right along the coast of the California. So all you can see, they show it. They show the hot zone where it comes all the way to the coast of California, and all like they're picking up cars like in Oregon. In Oregon, people are going to the beach, and there's a fucking Japanese car.
Yeah,
How is that?
Because the current, because when the flood came in, it washed everything out to sea, and the current is just bringing it all right to here.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like houses. There's fucking houses that are washing up still today. Still today, you can go to Oregon and Northern California, and you can fucking walk on the beach and find something that came from Japan.
In San Diego, we used to go right off the Marine Room, the restaurant. Remember? So there's this restaurant as a kid that was always like the most expensive restaurant. You always heard about it. It was very nice. And the water will come right up to the glass windows and break while you're having brunch. We used to dive off of the Marine Room because it's a reserve. So you just swim right out there and dive or snorkel. It was beautiful snorkeling, great diving. When you get out about this deep and you just start snorkeling, there are beds, literally like miles of beds of sand dollars. And sand dollars live in the water halfway. They're like somebody just stuck those things all in the water. They said all that shit's dead.
Like little sand dollars?
Uh-huh. Well,
Really?
sand dollar about like this.
Yeah.
And they're ugly. Like the ones you see at the shell shop or at the zoo.
Little white circles.
They're white. When they're alive, they're like a dull gray.
I didn't know that.
So same with starfish. And the cool thing about starfish, you can break a starfish in half, it will become 2 starfish. You can
They
take
regenerate.
those-
I did read that.
But they said all that
That's crazy.
shit. They said that whole coastline's fucking dead right now.
Of California.
Because of the amount,
And it's not being talked about.
They're
So how do we
releasing
do
more.
something about the water?
We can't
I
do
mean,
anything.
it's the
We
ocean.
have to keep cooling it because the second and third reactor, some people say they have fucking already melted down. But we are pumping shit in there to contain that as fast as we can. They don't know what'll happen if we let it. If we stop running water to it,
You'll have another explosion.
you'll have another explosion.
And
And
then
then
now you have the radiation in the air. It will come the same way because the water currents and the air currents are exactly the same.
And the other conspiracy theory is that the powers that be used HARP and caused the tidal wave
No.
to tank. They didn't expect the meltdown. There's some.
HARP doesn't.
Watch
they're
it
not-
anyways. It's
Right,
good.
if HARP could control the weather, they wouldn't be right now. They wouldn't be trying to sell it. They wouldn't be like, "Hey, anybody want to take over this multi-billion-dollar weather control system? We're through with it." No, they wouldn't want me and you up there like, "Hey, let's make a flood in. Let's it'd be funny a flood in Arkansas."
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We're gonna go to the gym. I won't be long because I didn't have any orange roughy.
No, please.